Hi there, guys. It's me, Dr. V. So, my name is Dr. Vidya. I am a medical doctor and I'm also a spiritual life coach. I have an absolute passion for emotional health, deep emotional healing, especially with my anxiety release method. So, stay tuned to know the three biggest ways on how to transform your anxiety to go from fear to freedom. See you in a bit. So, the number one way, the first way, is gratitude journaling. Now, you may have heard about this, but you may not be doing it the right way. So, why is gratitude journaling so important? Now, look, I could really do a whole video on just this. In fact, I do have some information on gratitude journaling, and you can find the link in the description box below. So, the reason why we want gratitude journaling is because gratitude, that vibration, what does that mean? That feeling of gratitude is the absolute opposite of fear and anxiety. You see, if you look up the Hawkins law, right, Hawkins law shows that every single emotion that we have, the cells in our body are vibrating at a completely different frequency. So, high vibrational emotions such as love, joy, peace, that make us feel good, right? We feel expansive, we feel so amazing. And that's because our cells are physically vibrating at a higher level. But low vibrational emotions such as fear, anxiety, shame, guilt, anger, all of these emotions, totally normal emotions, but they are very low vibrational. So have you noticed you actually feel ill? You don't feel good when you have these emotions, right? Your heart rate rises up. You sometimes breathe heavier, faster. You might have sweating with your fingertips. You might have a lump in your throat. You might even have a little bit of chest pain or borderline panic attacks, or maybe full-blown panic attacks. So your body is not vibrating. The frequency of the cells in your body are not in a good, healthy state when those emotions are present. And that's why we want to know, how do I get out of fear and anxiety as soon as possible? And that is through gratitude journaling. So, what I want you to focus on is writing out at least 10 things, if not five, that you are super grateful for. And it's not about the thing that you're grateful for, okay? It's not about what it is that you're grateful for, it is the feeling. So it could be a cup of coffee, it could be the house you just purchased or the house that you live in, it could be anything. But it's that real feeling of, I'm so happy and grateful now that whatever it is. Because what it is that feeling, all right? That feeling is what we're trying to tap into. Now, you may find that you have to really think about quite a few things. Maybe it takes 10 things, maybe it takes 50 things, maybe 100 things. Maybe you have to write it out. Maybe you feel that writing doesn't work for you, right? I certainly find sometimes I'm just kind of getting too into the writing and not focusing more on the feeling, which is what it's all about. So I tend to kind of do it more in my mind when I'm meditating. That's how I love to do it. So I like to put on some music and really think about all the things I'm super grateful for. And I keep doing it until I have that feeling for at least a couple of minutes. And I can feel it within myself. I can sometimes see that I'm physically smiling and I can feel myself very uplifted. So you will know when it's working. So that is number one. Number two is healing, releasing journaling. Now, this is a bit different. This is more to do with when you are really in that fear and anxiety and you're finding it quite difficult to sort of snap out of it. So, what you want to do is befriend the anxiety, do not repress it. Repressing your feelings is not healthy. That is called toxic positivity. When it's all sort of like, yep, everything is fine, la 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 la, let's pretend it's not happening. No, 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 no. Befriend the anxiety. All emotions are normal. Anxiety is a normal emotion. It's just that because it is a low vibrating emotion, it doesn't feel good, right? So we don't want to be feeling anxious all the time. And that is why we need to learn how to heal anxiety. How do you do that? Have a journal, write it down. It doesn't matter what you're writing down, doesn't matter about the grammar. You're thinking on paper, and we are just wanting to just get it out of our system onto paper. Kind of like verbal diarrhea, brain dump, right? Just get it all out. We have a neurological connection between our brain and our hand. So sometimes it's that physical release that's quite cathartic. And sometimes when you can see in black and white what you're writing, it can be very eye-opening as to, particular mental habits, relationships, memory, certain situations that are requiring some healing, and that is good. And sometimes, does this completely let go of how we feel about the whole situation? No. But what we are doing is intellectually, we are just releasing it from our system. We are making a decision at that point in time to say, do you know what? I'm done feeling like this. And from now on, from this moment forth, I am choosing to let go of this. All right. And that is what the healing, releasing journaling is doing. And then that releasing journaling, I want you to really feel every emotion. I know that it doesn't always feel good, but in releasing something, okay, as you are healing from whatever it is, it doesn't matter what it was, whatever it is, this works. All right. Because what you're doing is you are releasing it. And as it gets released, what happens? It bubbles up to the surface. Sometimes exactly how you're feeling in that difficult memory, in that difficult situation, in that maybe that toxic part of that relationship or toxic situation. So it's almost like you're reliving it. But this is actually good because what we are doing is releasing it, is bubbling up to the surface in order to be released. And obviously, if you're needing to see a medical practitioner, or you're needing extra help and support through this process, you should absolutely do that, okay? But what I want you to know is that you have the power to do this, all right? You've got the power within you. You are a conqueror, all right? And you are victorious and you are doing this. And so this healing journaling, once you've done that writing out, that journaling you don't need to keep. That I throw away, tear it up into tiny little pieces, and you can just, burn it. You can do whatever you like with it, obviously do it safely. But that journaling we're not keeping. We're keeping the gratitude journaling. You might like to do your gratitude journaling after this and instead focus on, wow, that feels so good. Can you see my positive language? That feels amazing. That feels so good. Yes, it feels sometimes a little bit fake at the beginning. Why? Sometimes our minds are just not used to thinking in that way. It's a negative mental habit. So we are reprogramming our subconscious mind, which is our inner deep core way of thinking. We're almost teaching ourselves, we're reparenting ourselves on a healthier way to think about a situation, a healthier way to be in a relationship, whether it's romantic or not, doesn't matter. A healthier way to think about something, to change our perspective. So sometimes we need to role play that in our mind. We need to physically write it out. We need to sometimes really think about what is a healthier way of approaching the situation. The highest version of me, right? Because we're not trying to be anyone else here. We're just trying to be the absolute most awesome version of ourselves. So you are amazing as you are right now. All we're doing is 2.0 version of you, all right? So it's thinking, okay, so the version of me who has my goal, which is the opposite of anxiety, right? Who has peace of mind, bulletproof confidence, he feels so free and relaxed and know that I have totally got this. What are they thinking? How would they approach the situation? Would they tolerate this behavior? All of those things we have to really ask ourselves, sometimes some difficult questions, and realize that that version of ourselves has massive self-love, massive self-respect, okay? And this is where we are learning that we wouldn't tolerate certain situations, certain ways of thinking, certain ways of being. And we are learning that it's meant to feel a bit anxious, right? Because we are going outside of our comfort zone. So this is what deep inner healing work looks like. The gratitude journaling, the healing and releasing journaling, all these are so important. And I'd love for you to do it daily, even if it's just a couple of minutes. And then finally, it's the principle of focusing on the foundation of self. What do I mean by that? This is actually focusing on the root chakra. Okay, so the chakras or the chi or the energy within us, whatever word resonates with you, take what resonates from all of this. But these are energy centers within our body, and there are 7 main centers. And the very first one, the absolute core basis foundation of it all, is called the root chakra, okay? And this is like the roots of a tree. It's the foundation of self. That's what it really means, the foundation of self. And this is why the most important relationship that you will ever have is with yourself. Okay, I know, such a cliche, but it's so true. Because everything is a mirror. Everything is a reflection of what you really think about yourself. Not what I think about you, not what your mom thinks about you, not what your partner thinks about you, not what your friends think about you. It's what do you really think and feel about yourself. That's called your inner self-image, your deep inner core, right? So it's like the earth. You have that deep inner core right on the inside, and that is what we are. That's the deep subconscious mind reprogramming, the root chakra. If the roots aren't strong, whatever happens, that tree is coming down, right? So that's why we want to make this root super strong. And sometimes what you're going to need to do is cut away the sort of parts of the roots that are rotting away, the parts of the foundation that was shaky. It wasn't really built on much, and that's okay. So sometimes when it feels like everything is falling apart, actually it's not. It's not falling apart. It's a good thing. It's actually removing all the kind of toxicity and all the, in medicine we call it wound debridement. We're basically removing all the kind of dead skin, and sorry if this is a bit graphic, but kind of dead skin and all the gunk and all the things that aren't for your highest good. You need to remove it. And that's what we're doing in the healing and releasing journal. We're removing all the things that no longer serve us, right? We're starting a brand new chapter, all right, in this school of life. So I hope that was helpful. Please check out the link below if you're interested in my group coaching program on anxiety healing, deep emotional healing, to have absolute bulletproof confidence and rise like the phoenix that you are, because it's time for a new chapter. It's time for the new you. You are awesome as you are, but it's time to live your life the way you really want it to be. And this doesn't have to be a scary journey. You don't have to do it on your own. It's all about community, about your soul tribe that you haven't even met yet. So come and join us. Hit the link below if you're ready to do this. Sending you love and light, Dr. V signing out.